Welcome to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss science fiction, fantasy, cooking, the outdoors, and more. Well, if you recall this horrible teaser trailer that Amazon put out for its upcoming bastardized Lord of the Rings of Power series, which I think is supposed to be coming out in September, the teaser itself now has 1.6 million downvotes, which is really awesome, by the way. I think it's tremendous that the true Tolkien fans are letting Amazon know exactly what they think of them. And this doesn't appear to be shrunk as compared to before, when they were busy deleting dislikes along with the comments. Now, the comments are also down to around 47,000, so I'm sure that they're still deleting comments as time goes by. That I have no doubt. But something else has recently happened that I only learned about today. It would seem that Harper Collins is coming out with a new set of Lord of the Rings books, not based on the Rings of Power, but Tolkien's actual Lord of the Rings, and the covers are from Amazon's Rings of Power series. This is just pathetic. You know, they made it very clear early on that their series has nothing to do with the Lord of the Rings itself. But now, because they're having so much difficulty trying to get people interested in wanting to watch this thing, now they're going to bastardize the actual Tolkien books with artwork from their bastardized series. This is a real insult to me, and I'm sure to many other Tolkien fans. And yeah, I was really kind of surprised by this. And sure enough, you go over here to Amazon, and lo and behold, yep, there it is in all of its glory. Here is the first one. And it's coming out in July, and I'm assuming that they're all coming out at the same time. But yeah, this is just awful. And after saying that they weren't going to, interfere with the Lord of the Rings itself, now they're going to just use it as a way to market their bastardized version of Tolkien's genius. That is truly insulting. That really is insulting. So yes, this is what's now coming to a bookstore near you, or you can just order it from Amazon if you want. I won't be ordering it. And apparently, on other tweets, people have been expressing their displeasure over these books. And to see those, we need to go over to the UK Harper Collins Twitter account, because that's where most of those comments have been placed. Here is the Harper Collins UK Twitter account, where they are also showing off these horrible Lord of the Rings books with the bastardized Rings of Power covers on them. And this is where a lot of people have been posting comments. So if you come down here, Nerdrotic said, "Buy some old dusty versions from a local bookstore. Support small business." Another Twitter user said, "I won't purchase books that have a TV or movie tie-in label on them. I've done the same with The Wheel of Time and the Witcher series of books, and I'll purposely seek older versions of the book for sale instead." And this guy writes, "I'll keep my John Howe and Alan Lee covers. Galadriel doesn't wear armor in this trilogy." So here's a fun one. "It's hard to say right now. Could be Anatar or something, but that would be especially weird given we know exactly how he looked. To me, it looks like they are just trying to ape the look of Peter Jackson's Sauron." I like this one. "Luckily for me, I have several far more beautiful covers of Tolkien's books. I was never a fan of the movie show covers for whatever book anyway." And this person hits it right on the head. "The books have nothing to do with the show. Shame you put those pictures on the cover instead of using the example of painting by Alan Lee." And here's an interesting one, which is a little more neutral. Nothing against the show, but I really wish we could have gotten covers with art by Tolkien artists that haven't gotten a chance to do much in the field, rather than actors from the show that's not even adapting Lord of the Rings itself. Yeah, well said. Very well said. And I like this one from Oakleaf Defense. Harper Collins UK, with due respect, these covers are off message concerning what the tale is about. Lord of the Rings is not about the mighty and power-wielding fancy swords encased in glamorous armor. It's about friendship, faith and goodness, and how even the smallest can change the world. Fail. Yeah, totally fail. It's just appalling to me that they would even consider putting books out featuring Amazon's bastardized Rings of Power series on it. I just cannot believe it. And yeah, here's another one. Cody Foster writes, Rings of Power has nothing to do with the books. I recommend your stuff the Amazon paycheck in your pocket and just keep on printing with any of the previous covers. Any cover but these ones. And John writes, the Amazon series is not and never will be canon. Just really expensive fan fiction. Enjoy the 2 seasons this dog shit show will get. Barry Okanagan writes, using movie/TV show images as book cover is the worst. Obvious money grab since the show and the books are different stories entirely. Exactly. Why would Harper Collins deliberately show images from a story that has absolutely nothing to do with the contents of the book? To me, that's a bait and switch. That's false advertising. That's what it really amounts to. This is false advertising. Because Lord of the Rings is not the Rings of Power. And the Rings of Power will never be the Lord of the Rings. And here's a really good tweet. No thanks. I'll keep my leather-bound copies and don't promote this nonsense. And right below it, not a chance in hell I will touch anything affiliated with Lord of the Rings on Prime. The book with these covers gonna be like E.T. cartridges buried in a landfill. Who wants these books? Who would want this crap? Those silly people that Amazon was trying to promote as actual fans that really weren't? I mean, who wants this crap? I don't. So I was motivated to leave a comment of my own on these books. I said the following: unbelievable. This is a bait and switch, false advertising attempt to equate Amazon's Rings of Power series with The Lord of the Rings, which it isn't. Rings of Power is supposed to be thousands of years before Lord of the Rings. So insulting to the memory of J.R.R. Tolkien. You know, I'm sure Harper Collins is getting a pretty penny for doing this, but this is false advertising. This is using one thing to promote another that it has nothing to do with. Neither of these have anything to do with the other. What Amazon has created was not written by Tolkien. It is a bastardization of what Tolkien created in the hopes of trying to pass it off as Tolkien. And that's what these book covers essentially are trying to say. Oh, yes, Rings of Power, it's just like Lord of the Rings. No, it's not. This is just pathetic. Thank you for watching today, and thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button below, and please feel free to share a comment. If you would like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please subscribe right now by clicking on the red subscribe button below. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.